Okay guys, let's talk about the state of Utah. Hi guys, this is Hina, the fashion doctor. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about travel and also how many times I have changed my hairstyle. Guys, listen, it's not my fault. My hair is at this point where it's growing in every direction known to mankind. So I had to spare you guys and wear a wig. But maybe if I'm brave enough, I'll post a picture on Instagram. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the state of Utah. I recently visited a couple national parks and I wanted to talk about it more specifically. There are shorter videos that I'm going to specifically upload that show you the national parks, just the national parks I went to. But I wanted to talk about it a little bit because there's more than just the national parks in those respective states. So the state of Utah has a population of about 3.2 million. Folks, that's less than all of Los Angeles. I think we have more than 4 million people. Yeah, as of the 2019 census, we have 3.96 million people here. And it's 2021, so we've definitely reproduced by then. Also, Utah is known as the Mormon state, and the state flower is the sago lily. I've never seen it. So Utah actually became really famous in the 20th century for its natural beauty. A lot of Hollywood films have been shot there, and let's get into the national parks finally. So while you're in Utah, there are actually 3 places, actually 4, that I'd say you shouldn't miss. Let's start with Bryce Canyon National Park. Now, apparently it's not a canyon, it's an amphitheater. Amphitheater. I don't know how to pronounce. By the way, all the information I'm telling you about the national parks is actually from this book. It's called America from the Road, Reader's Digest. Who's it by? I don't know, it's just a guide. It doesn't have an author, but yes. So according to this book, Bryce Canyon National Park, Bryce has been carved by erosion into hoodoos, spires, walls, arches, and other monuments, and is painted shades of red, yellow, white, and purple by iron and manganese. So all these structures you see, those are called hoodoos. Isn't that a cool name? So hoodoos are so called because by twilight or moonlight, they have the ghostly look of hooded figures. So when I'm talking about the park itself, I recommend you at least do the Navajo Trail. You're gonna find the cool spots in it like Thor's Hammer, what else? Wall Street. There's also the Sunset Point and the Sunrise Point. All of these little loops and hikes, they offer such incredible views. Words aren't enough. Even this video isn't enough because the experience of being there in person and just seeing all these geological formations is not describable by any language. I really recommend that you drop by Bryce Canyon. So one more thing I want to mention about Bryce Canyon from this book is this one line. It says, "The park's most remarkable geological formation is Bryce Canyon Amphitheater, called by an early cattleman a hell of a place to lose a cow." Legend says he's still trying to find that cow. So next on the list of things I recommend doing in Utah. Now obviously I haven't been to all of the awesome national parks in Utah, but I have been to Zion National Park and I can recommend that. Not only have I been there, I've stayed the nights there, and that is something that you can't miss out on. You have to do it once in your lifetime. The thing is, we live in cities, and a lot of the times we think, oh wow, we see the moon and maybe a single star. I mean, that's what I see on a daily basis or a nightly basis. And these national parks, not only is the cell phone reception crappy, you're not near any big sources of light at nighttime. So you will see the night sky in its full glory. I was actually really lucky. I got to do a glamping experience with the tour I went through. And this is why people like me do glamping, because we can't do camping. We like the modern conveniences of running hot water, to shower with, and of course the toilet within your room. Though I don't know how I felt about, you know, being able to hear everything because there was like no partition. Yeah. See, this is me complaining about glamping. But it was wonderful. I got to do like yoga on a helipad. I mean, if you want to do yoga, do it on a helipad amidst all that scenery. Yoga is always very helpful, but it was especially calming and peaceful doing it in that setting. I just wanted to let you guys know in case you do some glamping. And also the stars visible at night right outside your tent. Wow, I recommend that. One thing I kind of want to mention about the order you do these things in, again, I didn't do all the parks, but if you did exactly what I said in the video, I would recommend a different order depending on what side you came in from, like, you know, east, west, north, south. So like if you came from, like I did, like I came from the west and then I went towards north, I would probably recommend you do Zion first and then Bryce, because that's how they are on a map. And then right smack in the middle is Dixie National Forest, which we will get into, but wait, let me continue talking about Zion National Park. So Zion National Park itself is pretty big. It is 229 square miles of Navajo sandstone. Again, our group got kind of lucky because the day before we went, there was this flash flood and we were kind of warned like, hey, maybe you shouldn't go today. But we went because they opened up again. And they had park rangers who were like, so listen, if you go beyond this point, you might die and we're not responsible for it. So anyways, we went. And you know, there are a lot of hikes. There are a lot of hikes for different levels of difficulties. Okay, so I did like a couple hikes. I did the Riverside Walk, which it's okay if you can go all the way to the Narrows, but again, with that park ranger kind of saying, please don't go beyond that point. We went beyond that point for like 5 feet and then we didn't go further. So we didn't really get to see the Narrows, but we did the entire hike of the Riverside Walk and the scenery was breathtaking. So see, there were like multiple stops and they have this shuttle, this free park shuttle that goes to each stop at regular intervals. Oh, another piece of advice I have to give you. So, you know, if you do this without a tour, I actually recommend you get the park ranger pass. No, wait, the park pass. The park pass for all of the national parks in the United States. It's like $80 or something, and you get entrance to not just the parks, but like the reserves and the forests. And of course I have it. So I recommend you get that. You'll save a lot of money, and yeah, it's just worth it because you might the pass lasts an entire year and you might go to multiple places in a year. Back to Zion National Park. I recommend also doing the Kayenta Trail. It is gorgeous. Of course, it's not paved, so I'd be a tad bit careful. The Kayenta Trail offers a lot of views of the entire park, and then it connects to the Emerald Pool Trails. I actually recommend the lower Emerald Pool Trail more, just because you get to kind of walk underneath the waterfall, and it's very scenic, very beautiful, and the people who did the upper Emerald Pool actually said that it was better. That's why. I actually was also not able to do Angel's Landing because I didn't have a lot of time, but people in that group did, and they were kind enough to provide this footage right here. Maybe right here because I think it's vertical footage. There you go. Isn't that ridiculous? Yes. According to Google, the best time to go to Zion or Bryce or that area in general is May to September. Just be warned that things changed at the last minute. There were flash floods at Zion the day before we went. So, you know, be prepared. Just know that, you know, if you can't go to one place, you are surrounded by a lot of great things that you can see. And just spending a couple days or nights there is just gonna do a lot of good to your health because it is so calming. A quick second note is on the food. I almost feel obliged to tell everyone, you know, what kind of food I'm able to get. There have been countries, hold up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm a lacto-vegetarian, and that just means I don't eat meat, eggs, and fish. And I feel like when I do videos like this, I I should tell you guys how easy or hard it was to find food for me. So in case you have special diets, you can plan accordingly when you travel. And I have to say, it was pretty easy to find food. I was always full. And I don't think I've ever eaten that many salads in my life, despite being a vegetarian. But yeah, it was easy, and that's all. Before we move on from Zion National Park, I have to insert this clip. This is a clip of me attempting to do fashion as I go on a hiking trip. But you know, I'm called a fashion doctor for a reason. Self-called, no one named me, I just called myself a fashion doctor. So obviously, I feel obligated to wear fashionable clothes even on a hiking trip. And here's the clip. See, I snuck in fashion into this video too. Ha. After Zion National Park, I have to give a special shout out to Dixie National Forest. Now, Dixie National Forest is north of Zion and west of Bryce. It's like smack in the middle. And the reason I have to give it a shout out is because of the lava flows. Throughout this entire trip, whether I looked right, left, and front, there was so much scenery. And this one stood out a tiny bit because of the lava flows. Now, these are like dried up fields of lava, and there were a lot of them that I saw in the Dixie National Forest. Of course, there are no active volcanoes in Utah, but you do see this scenery that I'm gonna insert clips of. And it was breathtaking, and honestly, if I had more time, I would have stayed a couple of days in that forest too. It was literally like a fairyland. It was just miles and miles of just beautiful wooded scenery. And of course, the lava flows that really stood out. So there you have it, Dixie National Forest. Okay guys, I have one last place to mention before I wrap up this video, and that is Salt Lake City, Utah. I have nothing but good things to say about this city. It is a very calm city, and those two words, they almost don't feel like they belong together. But I hear the fire trucks going every hour at least. I hear police sirens, I hear my neighbors. I mean, the rent is high here. And then you go to Salt Lake City and you're like in Temple Square and you don't hear like honking? Wow, people must be polite, or there must just not be a lot of population there. Either way, I really enjoyed that setting. You know, I was also lucky I went during the 4th of July and got to enjoy all these fireworks. It had been a while, and it's just a fun thing to do with your friends. I actually recommend going to a new city for 4th of July to enjoy the 4th of July life there, and a new country for a New Year's Eve just to see how they celebrate it. I think those have been my sort of top 10 experiences to enjoy those two events in different places. So I recommend that. Back to Salt Lake City. So in Salt Lake City, I actually, other than, you know, roaming around Temple Square and seeing everything there was to see there, I also went to the Natural or National? It's Natural History Museum, of course. But you can see it has 5 levels, and it was fun to see. Not only do I recommend it for its obvious entertainment factor and if you have kids with you, but also because the top deck has a gorgeous view of Salt Lake City, something I would recommend even if you're not a kid. The museum itself has a lot to offer. I was surprised to see how many dinosaurs they had dug up from Utah. Like usually you go to a natural history museum and you're like, ah yes, this bone was found in Argentina. But no, they found a lot of these fossils in Utah. They also have a lot of Native American history, gems and minerals. They talk about the Great Salt Lake. I generally love museums, and it's just a fun place to go. It's almost required if you visit a new country or a city to check out the museums. I also ended up going to the Red Butte Botanical Garden. See, it's actually called Red Butte Botanical Garden. See, I'm not making it up. It was a gorgeous garden. And again, I feel like parks, gardens, and museums are a must when you go to a new city, just to appreciate what history they had and what else they can offer. This garden was actually pretty pretty large. I think I ended up only doing half of it, but again, the huge garden. Yeah, huge garden. They had a lot of good scenery to offer, and they had a rose garden. Okay guys, that's it for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. When I started this channel, it was never supposed to be exclusively about fashion. I am totally into traveling too. In fact, the cartoon intro, that little map you see before it focuses onto Los Angeles, those are all the countries I've been to. So I would like to do more of this in the future. And I don't know, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if you are inspired to go here or if you want me to go somewhere else, because I'll go there. I will sit on that train or buy that ticket and be out of LA in like a second. Like, I will do that. The takeaways of this video are that America has a lot more to offer than city life. If you want to go out, see the stars and just the incredible variety of geography that is here, then we've got it. We've got it in every state, and especially Utah. Some other takeaways: you can still find vegetarian food in the Midwest. Who knew? Also, this is my national park pass. If you want to get one, support the national parks. I feel like it's actually one of the cheaper ways to travel in America. Like, most people go to Vegas and, I don't know, they spend like all their money on their drinks. I'm like, no, listen, get your national park pass. This isn't sponsored, I'm just a geek. Also, a note on the current status with COVID. You know, honestly, things can change at any minute, and I figured traveling within the States would probably be safer, and I didn't want to have to worry about the hassle of quarantining while traveling to another country. And one of the things I realized was that America is freaking beautiful. Like, there are so many national parks and cities and different geographies that you can see in this one country. It surprised me. Like, yeah, I go to Joshua Tree whenever I want to, and you know, California is really awesome because we have the coast. But going to these other places, I realized, hey, we have a lot to offer. For the people who are living in America, I really recommend just checking out what you can do within the States, because there's a lot. And with COVID, I'm sure that that is a very good option. And even if you don't live in the States, when you finally do come to visit us, I recommend you not only do the cities. Don't just do Los Angeles and New York. Go out, go see, I'm gonna say it again, the national parks. Last but not least, just a friendly reminder that those souvenir shops in those national parks, boy, they charge an arm and a leg for a souvenir. So gimmicky. So anyways, from one of those gimmicky shops, I got this little passport, and I wanted to show it off because apparently you can like go to the parks and then just stamp every place you've been. And isn't it cool? Though, something funny I noticed, if you guys can see, it says Junior Park Ranger right there. Apparently it's for kids. Then I got it for myself. Oh well. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments below where you guys want me to go next, or if you're inspired to go somewhere, or if you have any other recommendations. Yep, see you guys. Have a good day or night.
Dinosaurs are so cool.
It's like my neighbors know when I'm gonna shoot, and then they start blasting music. Parks. Why not support the national parks? This isn't sponsored. Folks, you see it here? These are wild COVID species. Okay, I'm joking before anyone quotes me. This is not wild COVID. It just looks like it.